Go.
I thank the Leader of the Opposition and now call upon the Prime Minister to present the government's official rebuttal. During this 3-minute speech, although new evidence may be introduced, no new contentions may be introduced.
Okay. The main reason for governments is for the people to be led for their best interest, not so that one person may live in luxuries. Governments are in place for the country, people, protecting their rights, property, lives. But when absolute monarchy comes in place, it's there for self-preservation and to serve itself. Why else would the government want to change this now from a nice, diverse government that we have now to a single absolute monarchy? Certainly, there is more power given to some people, but as we have discussed earlier, greatly earlier, it only goes to some. Here. Sources repeat.com. The only good that comes out of an absolute monarchy is for the ruler, while the people in the country perish at his feet. We know the opposing side had some examples of what they call good monarchies, but when the absolute monarchy comes to power, it's all about destined for peril, and the people may perish. Even when monarchies come into power, there's at least some people who die. We know many cases, such as Xi Huangdi in China, and King Louis XIV, and many people. But when constitutional or multiple-person governments come into power, they are mostly peaceful and happy. Take, for example, the Glorious Revolution and the birth of constitutional governments. These were all happy, peaceful, and safe, and they were good transitions from an absolute to a constitutional government. Finished. Questions?
Okay. First of all, I find it quite amusing how you are all comparing an absolute monarchy to a dictatorship, because it is actually a different thing. Dictatorship is when one man who doesn't actually have the right to a throne or whatever wants to gain power, so he does whatever he needs to do, he fights wars, whatever, he kills people, and then he's the sole man in charge of everybody else. And this is a complete unjust form of government, and we understand that. But an absolute monarchy is very different from a dictatorship. I don't know.
Okay, so please explain this. As the quote said earlier, that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts completely. An absolute monarch means that the monarch has absolute power. As said before, absolute power corrupts completely. Xi Huangdi in China, he was an heir. He came to the throne. He was a good ruler until power got into his mind and he became reckless, and he had people buried because they disagreed with him. He had people shot and hung in front of his castle because he did not like their decisions. He could do this, so he did it. That is the problem.
Did he have a set of respected royal advisors to advise him in his decisions?
Yes, they pushed these decisions.
And when was this?
This was in the Shuang, I can't pronounce it. Something dynasty.
What date was that?
Where did you get this from?
I got this from Wikipedia.
What date was that?
I don't remember.
Present day or a long time ago?
That's 4 questions.
Ancient history.
Ancient history.
Ancient Chinese history.
Well, if you agree with what you said, ancient history is completely different
That's a
from
Point of order.
nowadays.
That's 5.
Oh my god.
Point of order again.
Point of order 2.
Both of you.
Okay.
Will the judges please decide on either too much heckling on either team or inappropriate outbursts by the opposition over?
Biased.
That's almost another point of order.
I was talking to Jesse.
We have to decided that the girls had too much outburst.
He said that people aren't free, but the people can enjoy their essential freedoms under an absolute monarch.
Is that so? Give us examples.
Louis XIV, everybody were happy during his rule.
Actually, during Louis XIV's rule, the whole country went into economic crisis. People were living poorly in little shacks because he spent so much money on his own luxuries, and they could only be the same religion as him since it was his country. That is not much freedom.
So there wasn't any religious warfare. Because everybody had to pick one religion, but while in England it was religious warfare were everywhere, and the country wasn't even improving.
But the country at the time was still under absolute monarchy.
But France was improving when they had the same religion.
Point of order, because you guys did not apologize to the judges.
I just said, I didn't even say anything, she was talking. What are we talking about?